Good evening! Hi guys, can you hear me? Hello! It's me, Nym54, the VTuber with the hands, unlike someone I know. Unlike the other VTuber in this channel. At least I can move my hands, right? Good morning, good evening for me. Hello, Nym54. Hello, Walker. Hello, Auric. Hello, Teddies. Are you ready for more lawyering? Are you ready for legit lawyer business? Legit lawyer business, like literally legit. I'm practicing legitimate law in the world of Ace Attorney. Woohoo! It's been a while since we last played this game, right? It's been at least maybe a few months. 2 months ago, I think, since we last did the first 3 cases. Now okay, sorry, audio cut off. My audio rerouting software thing keeps crashing for some reason. I'm gonna figure it out one of these days. I'm too lazy to figure it out today. Yeah, my mic is cutting because it's not my mic. It's the software where all my virtual voice whatever. I don't know what you call it, but basically like a Go XLR but in my computer. I don't know what you call it. But yeah. Day off plus Nym stream plus coffee. Let's go! Alright, got a day off. Woo 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 woo. Is that decaf coffee? Just kidding. So Nym is as boomer as her PC. I don't know what these are called. Yes, it's caffeinated. Good. I have to check. Every time you mention coffee. I check. I just check. Throw away that decaf. Blech. Oh. By the way, chat. I went to get coffee today in a cafe. I was kind of disappointed with the coffee. I don't know if it's because I make my own coffee at home, but I'm a little bit picky with places, and some coffee shops just don't do it. It's not giving. They just don't do it for me. Well, yeah, maybe I just realized that why do I buy coffee when I have coffee at home and I can make my own coffee? Sometimes I just want to go out, get coffee. I take at least like 1 to 2 cups a day. Sometimes 3 cups a day. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not overdosing on caffeine. At least I don't think so. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm talking fast and you guys, and I just don't know. Maybe is everything fast or are you guys just slow? It's nice to go hang out somewhere sometimes. Yeah, the place though. I'm not gonna mention the place name because I'm not a Yelp reviewer. I'm not a Google reviewer. The place had a really nice aesthetic. Like the ambience was perfect. It was great. The place itself was really nice. The food was not too good. Coffee was just okay, nothing special. It's not like it's not that special. But you know, it made up for it for how nice the place looked. Cafes nowadays, I think like one of the most important aspects of cafes nowadays that it has to look good. It has to look like a place where it's aesthetically pleasing and you can take pictures, I guess, so that they can sell coffee. Imagine trying to invite Nym for breakfast. You'd end up walking for 3 hours trying to look for a place she likes. How many stars out of 5? Maybe 2 stars. 1 star for the place and a 2nd star for how nice the staff were. And you know what really irks me is that I waited 40 minutes for a plate of pasta. I waited 40 minutes for a plate of pasta and I'm like, it's pasta. How long does pasta take? You boil pasta that takes like at least 10 minutes maybe, but then the sauce should be pre-made. So that should, and you heat it up, you mix it up. It's not gonna take that long. There's a cafe I checked out where I live. It has nice, comfy vibes, but yeah, food and coffee were meh. Food should be number 1. Food and coffee should be number 1, but you know, most people really invest on just the place, the aesthetics of the place nowadays. That is social media for you, chat. At least 11 minutes. Hey Nym, how are you? Hello, Yak! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How do you pass the time waiting for it? Okay, this is how I pass the time. I love how you. I like what you did, EJ. So I was supposed to go to in the Philippines. We're having our first Renaissance fair. We've never had a Renaissance fair in the Philippines before, so this March I think there's going to be a Renaissance fair for the first time. And I was supposed to go with my friends. So I spent I say I was supposed to go because just today we canceled it because a lot of like we just couldn't do it. We just couldn't go. The schedules don't align. But yeah, anyway, I was looking for medieval outfits. That's how I passed the time in the cafe. I was just shopping and I was like, this is a nice corset. Ooh, medieval pouch. Ooh, medieval armor. Ooh, medieval potion bottle. Wow. It was so fun just to shop. Yeah, Ren fairs are a blast. I want to go to a Ren fair. I am that type of. I am also. Again, mic cut off. But I am also that nerd. Night Nym arc. I'm gonna be. I wanted to be like an elf archer. I know, it's pretty basic. It's basically Legolas. I just wanted, look, I will have elf ears already. So I just wanted to be an elf, okay? And I like archery, even though I can't aim for shit. But I like the look of archery. Nerd! D&D time. I want to go to a Ren fair. I'm that type of. I'm also get censored. I am that type of nerd. Last time I was at a Ren fair, I almost got killed by a bad hatchet thrower. How would you guys describe Ren fairs? Because I've never been to a Ren fair. By the way, I just realized that my game audio was just like playing in the background. Don't mind that. That's the game audio. We were in the Ace Attorney audio on. Never been to one. Same. Our first Ren fair is coming up. Sadly, I won't be able to attend, but I'll go to the next Ren fair. You see, the Ren fair that's going to be hosted here in the Philippines is quite far away from where I live. It would take like at least 4 hours drive, so it's a pretty big commitment to go. But Baldur's Gate 3 stream incoming. I wanted to, but damn, that game takes a lot of PC power. The only thing that's stopping me from streaming that game is that I don't know if PC can handle it, and I don't think I have enough memory. I don't think I have enough memory in my PC. They need to have lots of good shops, games, and events to watch. Yeah, for like we have Battle of the Bards. The events that I know is that there's Battle of the Bards. There is, I don't know if there's like an outfit competition, but there's definitely LARPing. There's definitely. I don't know what's wrong with my audio right now. It keeps cutting off. Hopefully it doesn't do that when we're playing the game. Sometimes it just does that while I'm in chatting mode. That is a hecking chonker of a game. Exactly, it's a chonker of a game. I'm scared to download it. Mic gets cut off. I'm sorry, chat. But LARPing. There is definitely LARPing. Mike-kun dislikes the nerd vibes. Okay, Mike-kun. Mike-kun is just telling me to play the game already. He's like, are you here to just chat or are you here to play games? Actually, miss. Because you're supposed to actually play the game. Fine! Fine! We'll play the game! There we go! We're happy? There! Software is censoring the yabai parts of Nym's speech. Welp! The adventure of the clouded Kokoro. Ooh.
I begin to think, Wilson, said Sholmes,
Oh, I miss Shoals.
Languidly in my direction. That there is more to this case than that which we have observed.
I'm so excited, Chad.
Indeed,
I love Shoals.
That there may be another part to this story that we are yet to discover.
There's a 30-minute Zatsu minimum. We can't go against the law, Mr. Microphone.
Leading him to the distant memory of that snowy evening.
Snowy evening.
To the young lady collapsed on the pavement along Briar Road, and to the knife in her back.
Stab, backstab, literally.
In the soft glow of gas lamps, a most extraordinary scene had been set. And under the cover of a light fog, the curtain had risen silently on the insoluble mystery of our invisible killer.
Ooh, murder. How surprising. Another murder? What a surprise! We're solving another murder. People die when they are killed, chat. Don't forget. 19th of February, 9:47 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice Office. Did you sleep last night, Mr. Naruhodo? No, not at all. It was an enormous hotel, wasn't it? The rooms were so luxurious, I felt like we were staying in a palace. And with all the gas lights twinkling, it was brighter than day even in the middle of the night. What about the enormous beds? After my time on the SS Buria, I wasn't going to waste a single inch of that space. I forget that he did sleep in the wardrobe. Gamers don't die when they're killed if they have extra lives. Knife crime in Britain, what a shocker. Okay, let's continue. I spent the entire night rolling from one side of the mattress to the other. Oh yes, it really was the sort of night you can only dream of normally. Except, when I learned that we owed £3 for the rooms, that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. I thought the Japanese government was sponsoring our stay. Are we paying for this ourselves? Oops, sorry about that. The building was so impressive, and the entrance was so inviting, I just wandered in without thinking. Chat, look at this. Look at this man, Ryunosuke, so rich that he just wanders in hotels without checking the price. £3. £3 of what? £3 of feathers. Because, no wait, 3 pounds of steel because it's heavier than 3 pounds of feathers, right? In a lodging house in Japan, the sum of money would put a roof over your head for a whole year. The economy in Japan is just it's crashing right now, Susato. What can I say? I did try, but I'm afraid I couldn't help my tears when we were presented the bill. I just imagine them crying in the checkout. After listening Nym read the voicemail, copy pasta 40 times, one of which in a cute voice. This cute voice, it's different. What do you mean? It enhanced the voice, right, Teddy's? The sad part is I can't tell if Nym is joking about the pounds or not. Yeah, of course. I know. Obviously, a pound of steel is heavier than a pound of feathers. Obviously, chat. Obviously. Just like my economy, it's crashing. I am really sorry. Well, never mind. We must find some more affordable lodging straight away, though. If we're not careful, our entire stipend will be used up in 10 days or less. They do have allowance. Okay, they have allowance. It's just that we're spending too much. London is a scary place. I don't know who this is. I think it's the general guy. Ah, good morning to you at this early hour. Don't know who you are. Aha, it's you! We gave him vampire voice, right? He's also a vampire. Oh, well. Good morning to you, Lord Chief Justice. We have come to report on the outcome of the trial at the Old Bailey yesterday. Susato-san is amazing. She doesn't bat an eyelid, even in the presence of the imposing Lord Strongheart.
Yes, I believe you had a very comprehensive initiation into British courtroom practices.
My favorite voice, chat. Excuse me while I dash my brains against this concrete wall for hearing that. Vampires comprise 80% of Britain's population according to Nym. Of course! Of course, that's where vampires... Of course! That's why it's so gloomy in the UK, Auric. Do you not wonder why it's so gloomy in the UK? It's because 80% of their population are vampires. So when are we getting Vampire Nym? Damn, EJ, don't tempt me. Don't give me ideas now. Don't give me ideas now of getting another model, okay? My wallet won't be able to handle.
Oh yes, it was very eye-opening, thank you.
And in accordance with your instructions,
Lord
Lord Strongheart, Mr. Naruhodo performed his duty to the end.
Yes, I've already been apprised of events. You conducted a remarkable defense. You may consider the test passed.
Oh.
No longer are you a student from the Empire of Japan. You may henceforth claim to be a fully fledged lawyer. My country is delighted to welcome young talent from such a remote eastern land.
I imagine Vampire Nym is just one of your models with those plastic fangs, and obviously EJ with the very basic stereotypical like vampire cape. It's just my Halloween costume. Now hug me. I like how I did good, father. Now hug me.
Thank you very much. So I'm a lawyer now. Now, in view of your new appointment, I have a fresh case in mind for you. I'd like you to take it on at once. I trust that won't be a problem.
Another case? Already?
Nothing trains a lawyer better than practical experience. I'm sure I don't sense dissatisfaction, do I?
It's just that yesterday's trial ended, and usually I haven't quite come to terms with it.
What's to come to terms with? That man was cleared. What more were you hoping for?
I forget how it ended, chat. It's been a while.
The culpability of the defendant has not at present time been established by this court. Consequently, the jury will now not be required to proffer judgment.
Well, Lord Van Zykes, it's been a pleasure, so it has. And as for you, my dear fellow, I could have asked for a better defense. Right, it just ended and they were like, well, we're out of time. Why every accent you make eventually turns into Italian? I don't know. I ate a lot of pasta and pizza in my life, okay, Teddies? Get off my back. Does she think vampires come from Italy? I don't know geography.
I just can't help wondering if Mr. McGilded really was innocent.
Mr. Naruhodo.
It's just that I never managed to ascertain the truth. And then the trial ended. Well, you needn't let it trouble you for a second longer.
Sorry? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
Magnus McGilded passed away immediately following the trial.
He dead? He dead? He looked... Oh, was he murdered? No.
What? Mr. McGilded is... dead? I have 19 minutes and 41 seconds until my next engagement. Time enough to talk.
Okay, time to converse. I think Nym got Dio and Giorno mixed up. R.I.P. Homie McGilded. He gave us the park, chat. He gave us the park. I want to see Nym acting in a soap opera this year, please. I'm gonna ready my slapping noises, teddies, because if there's anything I know about a very good soap opera is that there's bound to be someone to get slapped, right? Someone's bound to get slapped. See, I can do it. McGilded's death. Hello, Ray! Welcome! We are solving case 4. I don't understand what happened. How can he be dead?
After the trial concluded yesterday, there was a great commotion in the Old Bailey. As you will presumably recall, an omnibus had been wheeled into the courtroom.
Yes, of course, that was the scene of the crime which Mr. McGilded had been accused of.
Precisely. Well, while the bailiff's attention was diverted by some other matter, the omnibus went up in flames.
No! How could such a thing have happened? I don't think security in the courtroom is very strong. First, a blackout happens. Second, then it's on fire. Who's guarding anything?
That is being investigated as we speak, but already the police have identified a corpse found inside the charred shell of the carriage as that of McGilded.
That's awful.
The man must have slipped inside whilst the bailiff's attention was elsewhere.
That bailiff really needs to pay more attention. And how could that have happened?
That is also being investigated as we speak.
Can they really ascertain this is Mr. McGilded? I mean, he's a charred body. Can you make out like face shapes from a charred body? I don't know. Could have been anyone. Could have been anybody. Maybe he's still alive. He faked his death. I'm calling it now, chat. He faked his death. What's a guard? They got knives too. They're fine. Maybe. I did bring in the sword in the courtroom. Thinking back now, immediately after the trial, Mr. McGilded did mention going back into the courtroom to look at the omnibus. Did he? I think he did. Well, I must be making tricks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. Sorry, what inspection? They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself.
An inspection of the omnibus. Not to my knowledge, I don't believe Scotland Yard had any intention of re-examining the carriage.
But then who was Mr. McGilded talking about? Ah, sketchy business, chat.
Never mind that now. The Yard is making a thorough investigation. This matter is no longer any concern of yours. Leave it to the police.
Poor Mr. McGilded. I don't feel too sorry about it. He wasn't a guy that I was fond of, to be honest. Well, see ya.
So, how did you find your first taste of our country's Supreme Court?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, it was... Wow! The prosecutor? Vampire daddy? Mr. Naruhodo means that the whole experience was steeped in the solemnity of Great Britain's long history. It's really a world apart from our own judicial system in Japan, which is only a few short decades old. Wow, Susato-san has such a way with words. The worst thing she can say is no. But his hat, Nym, his hat. His hat's alright. It's okay. And you seem to have a way of failing to find the right ones. Oh, what a bird, Chad! What a bird!
The judicial system here is the most advanced in the world. Learn all you can.
Is it? I didn't. You know, Britain didn't. It doesn't really. I don't think of. When I think of like Britain, I don't think of, wow, the most advanced legal system in the world. Call an ambulance, that. But not for me! He just T-posed in response of that bird.
The most advanced in the world, is it? It was fortunate that your very first trial was a simple affair.
Simple? That was simple?
As I believe I mentioned yesterday morning, it was a trial you couldn't lose.
I don't mean to be contrary, Lord Strongheart, but the case was anything but simple.
The circumstances of the case were so incriminating I was stunned when I first heard them. In fact, I'm still
finding it hard to believe that we managed to get a favorable verdict. I think it was Ryunosuke. I might have given the wrong voice.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Is something funny? No, my apologies. However, the fact is that you did receive the not guilty verdict you set out to achieve. And that can only be attributed to exceptional talent, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, never mind. You exceeded my expectations, I freely admit. That much at least is an undeniable truth. Which is precisely why I have prepared the new case for you that I mentioned before.
What's going on? What was he going to say before? New case, let's go. Okay. I'm ready. Could you perhaps give us some more details about the new case you mentioned? Bro is throwing some untrustworthy vibes all of a sudden. No, I trust him, Chad. He's a vampire, bro. I'm telling you, soap opera. Don't tell me it's a murder and the trial starts in 10 minutes.
Don't worry, it's nothing so alarming or quite so urgent as your last assignment. In fact, the case is completely different.
Oh, I see. Did he just read my mind?
That is to say, no one has died. As yet.
No one has died? We saw someone get backstabbed. She not die?
And the trial will not be today. There is plenty of time to research the case thoroughly.
Investigation time, Chad. Let's go.
23 hours, 43 minutes, and 19 seconds to be precise.
So the trial's tomorrow then. Is everything alright? Oh yes, I'm just a little confused, that's all. Yesterday's trial was... well, it's left me wondering if I'm really cut out for being a lawyer. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. I don't know if I could face standing in that courtroom again after Mr. McGilded's trial.
Yes, I nearly forgot. There is one similarity with yesterday's case. Oh. Once again, there is currently no one to advocate for the defense.
Oh.
If the situation remains unchanged, the trial will start tomorrow with the defendant unrepresented.
Don't they give, like, representation? Like, if no one's there to represent you, they're gonna assign one to you. Right?
And if that happens, I need not remind you of the inevitable outcome.
The most terrible end awaits the defendant. It depends. It does? Well, really? I thought they always assign. You couldn't, like, if no one represents you, and then you just can't pick. It's like state assigned or something. Hello, Garrett. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Ace Attorney. We are getting to the bottom of this case. I don't know the details yet. Apparently, it's not a murder, or at least no one has died yet.
Yes, that's right. Here we go again.
In some current countries, it's a given. Maybe it didn't back then. Oh, I mean, that's true. Back then, back in this time, the time of the steampunk domes. Probably.
Your time is up. You will have to excuse me. I would advise you to begin making preparations for tomorrow's trial. After all, the clock is ever ticking. There is now but 23 hours, 26 minutes, and 39 seconds until the court sits.
Last time he mentioned the 23 hours, he said there was plenty of time.
And one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. There is something I should like to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
Yesterday, you remarked upon something. That you intend to see through the will of your late compatriot, Mr. Rasogi.
Oh, right, he died!
I would be interested to hear exactly what you mean by that. Inside 34 seconds.
Oh, well, Kazuma always used to say, you see, that he wanted to learn how the greatest justice system in the world works so he could change ours in Japan. Now that he's gone, I'd like to work towards that myself, and there's another thing. Oh.
Another thing, continue.
On the way here on the steamship, he said something to me. There's something very important that I have to do.
Something very important, and what exactly would that be?
He never had the chance to tell me. I suppose he would have done if he'd ever made it to Great Britain.
You're out of time. Well, thank you for an enlightening discussion.
Damn, I can't believe I fit that all in 30 seconds. This mother F MF is like the banks in my city counting the minutes. Oh man, I hate going to the bank. Ugh, I hate the banks. Mr. Naruhodo, what's all this about? Mr. Asogi never once mentioned anything of the sort to me.
I urge you both to focus your attentions on the matter at hand.
Who is that dude?
I've taken the liberty of summoning the police inspector in charge of the case. He'll be able to appraise you of the details.
How long has he been there? I never noticed him, Chad. Who that? I've never noticed this guy. I like his bowler hat.
So I wish you the best of luck and bid you farewell.
There's something very important that I have to do. Kazuma-sama, what did you mean? I wish I knew, but honestly, he never told me. Anyway, we had better talk to the detective, don't you think? Yes, you're right. Okay, Mr. Detective Man, let me know what happened. I hope I'm just imagining it, but I wouldn't say he looks pleased to see us at all. That's just his resting bitch face. Everyone has it. I have a resting bitch face. Sometimes, just because he's just serious. Oh my god, he got fries, chat! He got fish and chips! Can I have some fish and chips? Sir, can we have fish and chips? Same, bro, same. Looks like a detective from Pink Panther. I love Pink Panther. My favorite is, I would like to eat the hamburger. I would like to have a hamburger. That was my favorite part of Pink Panther. Could we trouble you? Oi, what do you think? I'm just making a voice chat. I don't know. Lovely weather, isn't it? What's the weather got to do with anything? He suddenly turned Italian again. Did this dude just respawn the food? Yeah, Chad. He's got unlimited fish and chips. Listen to me, you young Japanese upstart. Some frippery about a weather doesn't get you every English gent eating out of your hand, you know. Maybe I should probably give him a British accent, chat. We are in Britain. But Susato-san told me it was foolproof. I'm a busy man. I can't do a British accent. A very busy man. There's a crime scene to investigate, but I'm here having to give the likes of you a talking to. Oh, I'm ever so sorry. Can you imagine what the other officers will be saying? Haven't seen Gregson anywhere, have ya? No, he's too busy with the bigwigs these days. All because of some bumpkin who's here on a jaunt from a country I've never even heard of. Hear that ripping sound? That's my reputation at the yard going to tatters. There's no need to rip us apart as well. He's chomping down the fish and chips like there's no tomorrow. You can't fool me anymore. I know you're Italian, not from the Philippines. Lying to us this whole time. I'm not Italian. What do you mean? Where did he put the food? This man is stressing me out. Chad, look at how it spawns. Look at that. Look at how it's I just want to watch this animation forever. This is great. I don't believe we've been introduced. This is Mr. Yunosuke Naruhodo, a defense lawyer. Huh? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Sue. Huh? It's lovely weather we're having today, isn't it? I just realized, Chad, he doesn't really have a chin. He doesn't have a chin. He's just like a walking thumb. And he does it so casually. Eats under stress, just like me for real. Just like me for real. Except we don't have spawning fish and chips. It is unseasonably fine, I grant you. London winters don't see a lot of sunshine. Unbelievable! How did she pull that off? Simp. Simp. Oh, is he simping? So, Lord Songhorn has asked me to fill you in on the case. The name's Tobias Gregson. Inspector Gregson to you. I'm from Scotland Yard. Gregson? Inspector Gregson. What's the matter with Susato-san? Does this detective's name mean something to her? I've never heard of no Inspector Gregson. Inspector, are you perhaps... D. Inspector Gregson? Oh, I mean D. Inspector Gregson. You're acting like you know this man, Mrs. Sato, but he's a London detective. Oh, I do know him very well, in fact. Very well? Yes, he features prominently in the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, in that publication, what's it called again? Rance Magazine? That's right, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Sholmes enjoy a wonderful friendly rivalry. Really? You rival the great Mr. Sholmes? That's incredible! Fangirling she is. I would fangirl about Sholmes. I don't know about Gregson. Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mr. Sholmes isn't a professional like myself. Of course, but he does come up with goods from time to time. Mr. Sholmes is equally complimentary about you, Inspector, isn't he? You've earned his highest praise. Gregson is the pick of a bad lot of all the Scotland Yarders. Those were his own words. That's his highest praise? Well, Mr. Sholmes isn't particularly known for giving compliments, you see. That he's not. And thanks to that magazine, my name's all over London town now. That's great, isn't it? I have to admit, I have to give him like a proper voice, like a voice that I can stick with. I've just been changing it. He has to talk like this, okay? Gregson, this is a Gregson voice. But in a baby British. I have to admit is that to start with, I was a little well flattered by all the attention. Everyone wanted to shake my hand, and my reputation at the yard went through the roof. Well, that's wonderful. No, it is not. There's nothing more sinister than the man on the street. People are always looking at me now. They whisper in rumors about me under their breath, I'm sure. Rumors? Are you quite sure? He's changed since he started appearing in those stories. His fame's gone to his head, stuff like that. Do not the chip, sir. Defense attorney Nym right there. Now you go from British to Southern American. I don't know what accents I'm doing, Chad. I'm not trained. I don't have an accent coach. Gosh, do you really think people are saying such mean-spirited things about you? Like I said, they whisper. So I can't catch exactly what they're saying, but I know what folks are like. I'm sure that's what they're saying. As sure as eggs is eggs. Eggs is eggs. I get the feeling this detective could be very hard work. He's just a little paranoid. I understand. I too think that people are whispering about me sometimes. Oh dear, perhaps a sudden rise to fame does change people. The case. So, about the case that the Lord Chief Justice mentioned before. Nothing to tell, really. As far as we're concerned at the yard, it couldn't be simpler. Oh dear, that probably means that as far as we're concerned as lawyers, it couldn't be more complicated. I wish you were wrong about that, but I have a nasty feeling you're right. A young woman was walking along the pavement on Briar Road when she was stabbed from behind. Fortunately, it wasn't fatal, but she's still laid up in the hospital, unconscious. That's despicable. What sort of coward would attack the poor woman from behind? I suppose you would have finished whoever it was off with a Susato takedown, would you? That is neither here nor there, Mr. Naruhodo. Brace yourself, Rinosuke. You've angered her now. Skill issue? Anyway, after something of a whirlwind investigation, the criminal was arrested. He barely had time for a cup of tea after the incident took place, to be honest. So, there must be something left at the scene that led you directly to the culprit? Or perhaps a reliable witness who recognized the person in question. No tea? I know, right? Every British person's worst nightmare. You couldn't have time for a cup of tea. I'm so sleep deprived that this game lost me at the main menu. Teddies, if you need to sleep, you can go sleep. Please, get some sleep. Let me stop you right there. You're wasting your time on this one. Sorry? There's nothing you can do. There's no way to help the bloke now. Why ever not? Simple. The prosecutor that's been assigned to the trial tomorrow is Lord Barak von Zykes. No! Sounds like you've heard of him then. Oh yes, we are very familiar with Lord Van Zykes. Believed to be the harbinger of death itself. The Reaper of the Bailey. I like Lord Van Zykes. Just because I can give another vampire accent, chat. I have something called insomnia, sadly. I'm trying to get more tired. Don't worry, I'll go to sleep in a while. Have you tried melatonin? That's like what you take, right, to sleep? I don't have that problem. I can sleep anywhere at any time. Lord Barak von Zykes, who we faced in court only yesterday. Mr. McGilda told us about him before the trial, didn't he? When Van Zykes stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. And in every single trial which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. I don't know what voice I gave Mr. McGilded. Sorry, Chad.
This Reaper of the Bailey nickname. I suppose he's earned that because every defendant he advocates against is found guilty, is that it?
Well, if that's the case, we should inform you, Inspector, that in yesterday's trial against Lord Van Zykes, Mr. Naruhodo secured a verdict of not guilty. Ha! And what of it? Oh, well, I think... that means that even against the Reaper of the Bailey, it's not impossible to save the defendant. No, but I should also, yeah, me too. Under normal circumstances, I'm able to sleep anywhere too. But yeah, insomnia sucks. You know when you say insomnia, all I think about is that song. Insomnia. Ah, it feels like insomnia. I cast guilty verdict. No, we're gonna get a non-guilty chat. Nym the girl with the 5 accents, the new wonder of the world. My accent that is not accurate at all at any point. By the way, am I lagging? Because YouTube says I'm lagging. I may be lagging a little bit. Let me know, chat, if it lags. I might be lagging.
What do you mean?
Stream is dying over here. I knew it! I knew it! Stream is dying. Okay, okay. I knew it. I knew it. This happens. It do be happening. Okay, okay. That, it should be okay for a while, I think. How is it? How is it? Is it okay? Is it still lagging? Is it dying? You guys can see better? Nice, nice. Okay. Let's continue. What happened to that bloke in the end, He's dead. Magnus McGilded came in a cropper in that omnibus when it went up in flames. So you can't rightly say you saved the defendant, can you?
What are you saying?
Look, if Van Zykes could get the dirt to stick on everyone, he'd be a miracle worker. But that's not how it goes. He doesn't work miracles, he works magic. Black magic.
Ooh, black magic.
They make Van Zykes sound like he summons the devil or something. Like he has a pact with the devil. I'd have a good long think about that if I were you.
Are we really supposed to believe that?
The fish and chips is making me hungry. I want fish and chips right now. Right, well, I filled you in as requested, and I'm very nearly out of chips. I find that very hard to believe. So I'll be heading back to the crime scene now. Crime scene? Ooh, the crime scene now, ooh. We're still carrying out a few investigations there. It was Briar Road, you said, didn't you? Where the incident took place. That's correct, ma'am. If you head over to the holding cells, you can meet the criminal himself.
You've branded him a criminal already?
He's as good as shaking like a little leaf in his cell, he is. It'll give you a little chuckle if nothing else.
Not the ooh, damn it. Whenever I try a British accent, it somehow transforms into ooh.
Hello, Manchilu, welcome, welcome, welcome. He's inmate.
I can't read.
He's inmate 53. Speak to the jailer and he'll show you the way.
Inmate 53.
Thank you. I'm kind of interested to see who the suspect is.
So there's no helping anyone against the Reaper of the Bailey, they say.
Is something troubling you, Mr. Naruhodo? To tell the truth, when I recall the trial yesterday, I can't stop myself from shaking. The idea of facing the Reaper in court again is... Well, if you think it's too much for you, there's no shame in turning the case down. That takes courage too. But if the man they've arrested is innocent, you could well imagine he would be shaking like a leaf in his cell. And I, for one, wouldn't find the sight of that funny. So, if I'm honest, I'm still reeling from the shock of yesterday's events myself. I'm really not sure if I'll be able to help this man, whoever he is. But I'd like to try, so I think I'm going to make some enquiries. Will you help? Did you really think you had to ask? After all, I am your judicial assistant. Thank you. So then, shall we? Yes! Let's go! Okay, so... let's meet... I want to meet the guy first. I want to meet the suspect, my defendant, before we go to the crime scene. Man, I just noticed the name, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm telling you, insomnia sucks in the fact that I'm not sharp. It's okay. Honestly, if you don't know Japanese, you wouldn't have noticed it either. 19th of February, local prison, cell number 9. This looks like a dungeon, more like. So these are British prison cells. Oh, they're ghastly. It feels just like a dungeon. That's what I was saying. Yes, and having experienced it in Japan myself, I can assure you that our wooden cells feel a lot cozier than these cold stone walls. Oh, don't, Mr. Naruhodo. You're making it seem worse. Apparently, our client is in this cell here. But it's so dark at the back there, I can't make him out. I wonder what he's like.
Inmate 53, your legal representative is here to see you. Stop hiding at the back of the cell and show your face at once. Am I a cat as yet with no name? Calling me by a number? It's utterly, unbelievably, unjustly unreasonable. I refuse to answer.
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think is going on here?
I have no idea, but I wasn't just hearing things, was I? That tirade? Is it tirade or tirade, right? That tirade of complaints was in Japanese. Mickey Mouse is in jail? Huh? Oopsie! Hey, pal, would you let me out of jail? Huh? It's not Mickey Mouse, Chad. It's a different voice. Ah, this is this guy. It seems like he didn't get a wink of sleep. Excuse me, but who? Shh, quiet. They're all around, hiding. I know they are. They're watching, listening. Even now, I can sense it. Right. So, could I ask you, who exactly... There you are! You've come to curse me, haven't you? Don't try to hide it. You're a ghost. A ghost? What are those? Is he fixing his mustache and his bow tie? Oh, I see. Dudes like me for real, because game represents me so well. First the food, now the lack of sleep. This is Teddy's at this moment. Teddy's, games keep doxing you. You've got to take care of your internet safety features. I think the games know what you look like. We mean no harm, prisoner-san. Are you Japanese by any chance? This is beyond my wildest dreams. First Resident Evil, now this. What's next? For Forgive me for that outburst before. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. We were just surprised, that's all.
Imagine it! It's been 12 long months since I left my hometown, and here I am in a frightful fix in a foreign land. So hearing the sweet, sentimental tones of a compatriot's voice here in this damp, dark hellhole was a most monumentally moving moment. Can we replay that? Can we replay this? I wanna see that again. Do it again. I feel like I was like, do it, monkey, do it again. Who could have guessed that this new client, Lord Strongheart, assigned to us, would turn out to be a fellow Japanese? Oh, what compassion my fellow countrymen show to dispatch a first-class lawyer all the way from Japan to defend a mere foreign student. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nippon! He did it again, Chad. I love it.
A first-class lawyer?
Oh dear, I think there's been something of a misunderstanding here.
I wonder, would you be so kind as to tell us what's happened? Why you've been detained as a suspect, for example.
Yes, I can, I will. Chad, stay solid and silent. He's a JoJo character. JoJo, pose. JoJo, pose. Alternatively, Dragon Ball. He does look like a JoJo character. I can see it, Chad.
I'm not quite sure I understand what he means, but he seems happy.
Yes, he does. I just hope he actually has a good reason to be.
Thank you for your cooperation. I am a lawyer, as you said. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. And I am Naruhodo-san's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotaba.
I am a visiting student sent here by our government. Notably, notoriously named Natsume Saseki Natsume. He's so kawaii. Look at his eyes, Chad. He can't be a killer. Look at this man. Does this look like a man that can kill someone? No.
Saseki Natsume-san. What an unusual name.
Call me Saseki, please. I'm a poet, you see, a writer of haiku. It's something of a nom de plume.
A nom de plume? You mean an alias? That's right, Naruhodo-san.
No, don't be so prosaic. It's much more refined than that.
And haiku, that really reminds me of home. Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago I was told to go study English. First I had to suffer that misery. Now this! It's beyond pale!
Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here?
No, I mean I had the interest in Great Britain for some years, of course.
Oh.
But just because the government tells you to do something doesn't mean you can do it? No!
What do you mean?
They told me to study English literature. That I could have understood. That's my field. But no, they told me to study the English language. Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. Damn, Natsume, who is that? Unreasonable. How could they let him study English?
I see.
Only the other day I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a black piece of paper. Wise words on whitewashing. I like how he has different poses, Chad, for like everything.
I aspire to be as expressive as this man.
You must be a man of great standing.
Oh, yes, so I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems.
That's what you call body language. Yeah, exactly. The accusation against you. You know why he has such expressive body language? Because he's been here for a year and he still can't speak English. Surely he's only gotten by with body language chat. Hi Nym, it's me, Funtime Freddy. I've seen so many terrors in Playtime Co. My head hurts me. Hello, Funtime Freddy. Welcome to the stream. We are defending this man. This JoJo character. He's the best.
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
Ever played Genshin Impact? I did. I played it, I think, a few times. I didn't really make it far. I honestly don't think Genshin Impact is for me. But it was pretty fun. I tried playing it a little. I did make it. I think I was only in level 14. I streamed it for a while back in the day when I started streaming.
I didn't do it. I didn't commit that atrocious murder.
Murder?
Oh, no, it's alright. That woman actually didn't die, did she? But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes.
Before your eyes? You mean you saw the attacker?
I didn't see anyone.
What?
If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear, it seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London. It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient.
I wish there was a replay button for every time he does a post chat. I don't know why, but he reminds me of the genie from Machinator. I don't see it, Teddies. I don't see it at all.
So Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker. It's vital that we find out more about the case.
About the case.
It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings.
Sure, the bookshop wasn't accursed too.
I was walking along that accursed pavement. I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I went to overtake her, bam! She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold hard slabs of a stone at my feet.
How terrible!
Sorry, it's just this action. This guy's. I love his animations. It's the best. I love that you still give him an animated comical vibe despite him being on the brink of a mental breakdown. That's what my voice would be if I were in the brink of a mental breakdown.
I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard.
I mean, the way he poses chat, do you not hear how comical his voice would have been?
Slight exaggeration there, perhaps.
I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accursed lodgings. Poor Mickey, huh? Hot dog, I'm a murderer, huh?
That's not good.
They'll say it was shameful, I know. Run away like that.
Tell me, Soseki-san, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous! Do you think I know any of these fair-haired English, and a young woman at that? I'm different, shy, timid, and sure I can't talk to people!
He's like me, for real, for real!
I see, a young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you?
Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul.
No one? Oh, great. So the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
What conundrum?
This game is gonna dox everyone at this point. Likes alliteration, overly dramatic, socially awkward. This man is me! This man is so relatable.
The conundrum.
What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum? Well, if what Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim and that there was no one else at the scene. Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did.
Then how did he? Then how was he arrested if no one was at the scene? I see. Where she's going here.
But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit. You! What did you just say?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Oops, perhaps I thought that a little loudly.
Actually, that's not what was troubling me. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested?
Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Oh yes, she's right. It was him. That accursed great detective, he led the police to me. Of all the bad luck.
Accursed great detective. Could it be?
I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live. With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness. Brash, big-headed busybody, be gone! May you be cursed at the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes!
I knew it.
Yeah, I miss Sholmes. I want to see him again.
Mr. Sholmes.
Herlock Sholmes.
Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips, that's for sure.
It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese when some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me, "This is the police! Put the weapon down! FBI, open up!" Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon! Disgusting dietary discrimination devils!
Every word he says is just amazing. I love this guy.
You clearly had a trying morning yesterday.
And there he was in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. That Herlock Sholmes!
It's actually just a Herlock Sholmes. He's English.
I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London.
Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts, apparently. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman! Me? This weak, stooped kitten of a man!
I wonder what great deduction process led him to his conclusion this time. Do you mean to say that Mr. Sholmes' deduction was the only reason the police arrested you? That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling, and they kept throwing question after question at me in impossible ego. Ego Jozu. Fiendish foreign flimmery. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point. But my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. Did you murder the woman? Yes, I do. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here. Me, when I worked as a waiter in a family of English speakers, sat down. If nothing else works, you smile and say yes. That's what I do when I speak to foreigners and I don't know what they're saying. I smile and laugh.
Oh dear, I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
I'm fine. He's not fine now. Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo, and when we're speaking English, a simple mister is more than enough. Oh yes, I'm alright, yes, they've really got to be. This country is poisoning my mind. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them what really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, Why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Okay, calm down, sheesh. Sounds like starting to sound like a toxic ex or something. Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself on a study tour. Oh, a student. I have defended a case in the Old Bailey, only the one though. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means.
Oh, Naruhodo-san.
I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. I'm sort of a locum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband, that's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. Keepsake? I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, who do you mean?
Poor dude, if it wasn't for his voice, I'd feel bad for him. Oh, you mean it's the most accurate voice. The lawyers, all the British defense lawyers, they won't defend me.
Goodness, why? Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted before. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around, and I ran away from the scene of the crime. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them, someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before, in my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. They even had the gall to say, this man doesn't understand half what's being said anyway. That's awful. I'm surprised that he can't really speak English, and yet he can understand most of that. Maybe, sometimes his listening skills are great, but like speaking skills are different. I can understand. Like me in my Japanese studies, I'm better at like listening and comprehending, but speaking is a lot more difficult. They're wrong. I studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. I traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and this great history. But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me! So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Saseki-san, it's just that
I would defend him. This dude is me for real. Poor English skills now. Teddy's, whenever you're talking to me in chat, I'm pretty sure your English skills are like pretty good. Like you are coherent enough and get conversationally okay. You have good English skills.
Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being.
Whoa, what do you mean?
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, thank you. I'll be here all alone waiting for you, locum-suited Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
We should be going then, Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for.
My poor man. My man. It's okay. I got you, bro. You haven't heard me speak. It's okay. I'm sure you're fine. I'm sure you'll be fine. I always felt like speaking was easier than writing. Is it not? 19th of February on Briar Road. Oh, look, a bent bicycle. And some... Oh, snowman! It's snowing! So this is where it happened. Briar Road.
Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo.
What? I don't see anything.
Look at that regulation helmet. It's unmistakable. The men of Scotland Yard are here. They're investigating as we speak.
That is their job, you know.
But Mr. Naruhodo, to see one with my own eyes. They're often depicted in the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, but I never dreamt I'd ever come this close to a real Bobby's helmet.
What? The helmet?
Of course, I have to try one on one day.
Well, I hope your Hattie dreams comes true. Isn't that like, doesn't the bailiff like look exactly like this outfit though? Hasn't she not seen that? This dude's gonna have an aneurysm before you can help him from all his overreactions. He's the best. Oh, it's him! He still has fish and chips.
What's the Japanese delegation doing here? Oh, Inspector Gregson.
This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate. So you've been to the holding cells, then? What do you make of the criminal?
He's not a criminal as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
We'll see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Well, do what you will. It doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens, and the verdict's a foregone conclusion.
Ugh, the stone cold air of rejection.
She's simping. Oh, she's simping on just a helmet. Teddy, just a helmet.
Take heart. London at this time of year is full of stone cold air.
That makes it worse somehow.
I don't want to talk to you. I'm gonna examine. First of all, the snowman. Look at it waving its little thin arms at me. I'm excited.
What a delightful snowman!
I didn't really realize the English had a tradition of making snowmen as well. It looks a little creepy though.
Oh, it has a scarf. Look. You'd need one if you were out in this freezing cold all the time. I wish I had one. I'm afraid our budget is somewhat frozen at the moment too. We certainly can't afford a scarf. Surely the snowman here wouldn't miss his. But the person who made the snowman certainly would. Yes, I know, you're right. Anyway, even if I borrowed it, it wouldn't do much to warm my neck, would it? It's covered in snow. Aw, it don't do anything, chat. This patch of pavement must be where the incident occurred. Yes, it's a very wide open space, isn't it? That's true, I can't see anywhere an attacker could have been hiding. Oi, what are you foreigners doing here? Ah! Oh, we just investigating a scene officer. Conspiring with a mustached fella from Japan, are you? Conspiring? Come here to destroy the evidence, have you? Get out of here before I give you an item. Go on. He shooed us away like rats. Yes, we should give him a wide berth, I think. What a disappointing experience. I mean, technically, are we authorized to investigate? Because we didn't even say yes to the guy that we were gonna defend him. So technically, I don't think we're authorized. He's got a point. Oh, a British bicycle, look. Although the wheel is so misshapen, I'm sure it couldn't possibly be ridden anymore. Someone must have been doing some breakneck cycling. It seems bicycles have become extremely popular in London recently. There's even a movement to change the women's dress to allow them to ride as well. It's not illegal if no one finds out. That's true, that's true. The bicycle fad won't last. I don't see why anyone would want to ride something like that. Goodness, do you dislike bicycles? No, not at all. I mean, it's not like I dislike them exactly. It's just that any occupation that involves taking both your feet off firm ground seems reckless. If you'd ever tried walking on stilts and fallen into a river, I know you'd agree with me. We'll have to hire a bicycle sometime. You can sit behind me while I ride you around. Like a shoujo manga, chat. Oh, this part's also bent. Oh, look at the windows of the building there. Are you sure they're windows? Yes, but they're filled with bricks. Oh, you're right. I wonder why. Perhaps it's an empty property where nobody lives at the moment. There's smoke coming from the chimneys, though. Oh dear, everything still feels very foreign. There's so much we have to learn about this place. Are we not gonna talk about this hole in the fence? Or are we not talking about the hole in the fence? We're not? Oh, okay. I guess not. What hole? This hole in the fence. There's a portion of the fence that's like broken off. I thought that would have kind of made a little bit of a difference in the case. I see nothing. You know nothing, Master Teddies. That's a rather typical old brick building, isn't it? I'm sure it has a long and interesting history. Well, time certainly seems to have taken its toll on the place. It's crooked and sagging all over. In fact, it looks in decidedly worse shape than the other houses around here. We must find some cheap lodgings ourselves as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, cheap, but ideally with reasonably level floors. Is that all we can... Oh, we can look here. Off into the distance. The clouds look so big and heavy in the sky, don't they? And with a dense fog as well, everything looks hazy. Well, it is known as Foggy London Town. I can just make out some sort of spire through the fog. It looks like it's still being built though. Aha, yes, that must be the Crystal Tower, being built for the great exhibition that's
That's to open in 6 months' time. This is important. This might be a case that's gonna happen next.
Apparently, it's going to be very striking, glazed on all sides, and a symbolic centerpiece of the exhibition.
It's to be the largest exposition in history, is it?
I can't even begin to imagine.
Oh, here. Begins to look at the road. There are piles of snow on the pavement here and there, but the road itself is covered in carriage tracks.
It seems carriages all often travel down Briar Road. It soon disperses all the snow.
I slipped over when I was walking down the pavement earlier. It seems like it would be a far safer walk on the road instead.
Oh, but you're rather small, Mr. Naruhodo, and all dressed in black. I worry coachman might not see you, and you could be flattened by horses.
She just called me small. I'm a small king. I don't know what she's talking about. He's average, okay? Well, thank you for the rather small concern. Okay, let's look on the right. You small. I am a small king. What do you mean? How do we move it? Oh, okay. I guess we'll look at the carriage.
Oh, that's a Scotland Yard carriage. They use vehicles like that to rush to the crime scenes and cart away criminals.
You're very well informed, aren't you?
It's long been a dream of mine to ride one of those through the streets of London.
Well, just pick up a stone and throw it through one of the windows then.
But that would mean being arrested in order to ride it, wouldn't it? Still, if it's the only way, help me find a good stone.
No, I wasn't being serious. I like how she's willing to get arrested. It's like, sometimes I think about riding the police car, you know. Sometimes I think about, oh, how cool would it be to ride a police car? But then I'd have to get arrested to ride in one. I guess we have to talk to Investigation Man. I mean, what's his name? How do I... There we go. Guess we have to talk to a detective guy. I've been in a police car before in the back. What did you do, Teddies? Let me guess. Impersonation. Let me guess. Impersonation. Or have you been money laundering? Was that the one you've been using to pay VTubers? Bruh, you think I'm that smart? What about robbing a bank? Did you rob a bank, Teddies?
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, I've been fascinated by the place. The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am. Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city. We don't talk about money laundering either. It's cause me and a few friends trespassed on an abandoned property to explore. Man, what a boring way to get a boring reason to get arrested, Teddies. I expected more from you. I expected war crimes.
Oh yes, doesn't he look wonderful?
Bro. Being a London Bobby is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh really? First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes around and rouses all the laborers in his beat so they can get off to work.
What? He wakes people up?
Yup, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself going back a bit. I had no idea. The Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day. The streets all day long. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way.
Bro, it was abandoned. They weren't using it. That's the law for you. That's true. But I mean, that's just if they had fences and then they had a sign. I just imagine that there's like a. He's Italian now, wasn't he English? I'm secretly Italian. Okay, all my accents end up Italian. I just imagine Teddy's looking at the "Do not trespass" sign and being like, "That won't stop me. I can't read."
Let me see. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama. On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far.
Yeah, pretty much.
And when it gets dark, of course he has the important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
I think I gave him a. I forgot he would talking like this.
Oh my. And I suppose in between all those duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well. And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly.
Oh wait, I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do.
About the kid.
Mamma mia! Mamma mia! It's a me, Mario! Woohoo! Woohoo! That's my best Mario impression, chat.
It happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. Just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, a young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind.
Is that the lady? Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in hospital.
I never said she was a lady. Truth is, unless she comes around pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all.
I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. I thought he was like trying to say that she didn't look like a lady. It's like, was she saying that she don't look like a lady? So now it's canon. This man is British Mario. Big chunky chips. Now I'm hungry. Same. Every time I look at the chunky chips, I was like, give me. Where's my hands?
Give me the chips. Give it to me.
Give it to me. Here's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want.
Really? Are you sure? It's yard policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on.
I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept. The local map has been entered into court record. I'm gonna sleep now. Have fun and bye-bye. Bye, Teddies. Good night. Have good sleep. I hope you can sleep tight. Sleep tight, Teddies.
Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else in the scene other than the victim and your fellow countryman. Why is he sounding like? Why he sound like a southern cowboy and a countryman? Ooh.
Ah. So who did it, do you think?
Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsume is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but soon enough Gregson will have nothing but neck. With the amount of fish and chips, that amount of fish and chips that he's eating can't be healthy. his heart. I don't think his heart's okay, chat.
But just because he didn't see anyone.
An Italian Brit from the deep south. This lore is getting difficult. Look. He got a lot of relatives from around the world. He's a mixed race.
It doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but most certainly can be sure. How? Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed.
What?
We have two very reliable witnesses, no less. Ah! It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see him.
There were witnesses now?
What? How could he not see a person? Well, probably, maybe they were peering by the window.
Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife.
And the man, I keep thinking, I have to give him a better voice. I keep forgetting his voice.
Should he talk like this?
Or should he talk like this? Maybe this is a proper voice. A fellow and his wife. That man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a copper from Scotland Yard.
Ah! A policeman. That might change things. And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, ma'am. Part of the parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging in an act and all that.
Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions?
Be my guest. You can ask him what you like in court tomorrow.
Oh, I forgot stream is now. Hello. Welcome. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. There's gonna be a VOD. But we're right in the middle of a case. We're investigating.
Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So that'll give you something to look forward to.
That's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems. A policeman witnessed the incident. As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed. Yes, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. Oh yes, one more thing, Inspector.
What?
The person who led you to the suspect, I hear that was Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
What are you bringing him up for?
Was it something I said? The color has drained from his cheeks.
Nym, hello. Tomorrow's trial.
That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. Are you going to defend him or not?
Well,
Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole.
Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper of the Bailey, you mean?
There's no way to save that man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though.
Strange.
Sorry?
The Reaper, he hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only people he usually bothers with are the real scum, the master criminals, the violent ones.
Master criminals? The violent ones?
That's right. He handpicks his victims, only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins.
But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of, surely.
That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even say the intent was there. So this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into, for want of a better phrase.
Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it?
No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can tell what's going on inside that head of that Lord of Darkness? You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial.
Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again, the Lord of Darkness as he puts it? I want to face the Reaper again. So I can do the vampire accent, obviously.
Who did you hear that name from?
Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings. I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions.
Fiddle faddle! The man's an amateur. I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case.
Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he? He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though, isn't he?
Gibble gabble.
Ah!
Ever seen this before?
Oh yes, that's Rand's magazine. The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes appears.
Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the Yard's detectives in its stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Sholmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be frumped by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's a danger to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all criminals.
That can't really be true, can it, Inspector?
Clearly, the great detective and the police have a complex relationship. I hope he pops up suddenly, chat. I'm just waiting for Sherlock Sholmes. I'm just waiting for Sholmes. Bring him out. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective. Oh, hey, they left. Let's go. We can investigate now.
Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes. What is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes, exactly.
Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did.
Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not.
I assure you it's not simply my selfish desire to meet Mr. Sholmes again.
The trouble is, we have no idea of the man's address, even. It's Baker Street! She's just doxing Sholmes. She didn't even skip a beat, just doxes him. How do you know that?
It's in the stories, of course. 221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So we're to have a reunion already with the great detective Mr. Sherlock Sholmes? Yeah! Wait, can we examine the thing? Oh wait, they're still there. Okay, great. Well, I guess we have to just leave then. And go to the show since we can't investigate. Detective gonna rip his face off and reveal himself as Sholmes. It was I! Sholmes all along. Okay, we're going to Baker Street, chat. Are you ready to meet Herlock Sholmes again? I am. I'm excited. And we get a nice animation! Oh, what a gentleman Naruhodo is.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
It's just up there overlooking the street. I'm trying to be British, chat. I'm trying to learn.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
I like how even Naruhodo has like a frighteningly accurate, like good accent for someone who just studied English. They were too afraid to give him a Japanese accent. 19th February, 12:53 p.m. Sholmes Suite. I like how we just got a nice animation of just them arriving to his place. That's it. Like, that didn't add anything much. They just wanted to just add that animation in. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. It's pretty messy and chaotic. I love it. Is it as described in the stories, Mr. Sato? Sasato-san?
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room.
Oh, I suppose they must have been. Yes. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, I suppose I can, yes.
So, if you don't mind, I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Okay, well, I guess we'll look around. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Excuse me, is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor?
Oh my god, it's the little girl. Hello! Is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes?
Hello?
Wait, aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll go and make some tea at once.
I'm sure it's the same girl. Time to sniff his room. No, chat. Mr. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here?
Oh yes, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Bavaria?
King Wilhelm Sigismund von Ormstein, of course.
Damn, that's one mouthful of a name. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Herlock Sholmes for a moment and look over here.
The tea's brewed, and I have a freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you!
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too.
Ah, there you are. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilded's trial in the defendant's antechamber.
I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Poor at you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Is tea supposed to look that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hooray! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves, decided to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here. And you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. Oh, and you're to defend the Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck.
Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Yeah, Japan with green tea and they have black tea here in England.
Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Hurley? Mr. Sholmes too, surely.
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? She's a stalker. Did she deduce all those things, you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite?
I wonder if Sholmes have drugs stored somewhere. I remember that being book Holmes thing. Does he? I did not read the books, but I'm surprised that was a fact.
Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I?
I like her. Her design's just the cutest thing ever.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson. I live here together with Hurley.
Ah, Iris, is it? What a lovely name. What? What's the matter?
No, wait, this can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Sato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Is this Dr. Wilson? Is this the Wilson? The Wilson to the Holmes? I mean the Watson to the Holmes. Watson, Wilson, probably the same.
Yes, that's right. What are your names?
Oh, I'm Runosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotaba.
Mikotaba, I keep saying Mikotaba.
Mikotaba, it's wonderful to meet you. Lovely! Susie and Runo! Got it! Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her, I don't know where to start.
Yes, and so do I.
She's so adorable, I love her. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey.
Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much.
Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us.
Like this?
Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yes, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Ginny! Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pitch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption?
Exactly! So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
This girl is dangerous. I hope she knows trigger discipline, won't want that thing to kill someone by accident. She invented it. I'm sure she'll be fine, right? Right?
Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that. so she could apologize to my trusting technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Hurley, of course, silly. Hurley? Yes, Herlock Sholmes. We live here together.
I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes?
Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are expensive. So this is the solution to share the costs with a partner, a roommate.
Your roommates?
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year.
Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there.
Wilson.
She'll be fine. I'm more worried about Naruhodo. Naruhodo always getting into trouble.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course. Go ahead, Susie. I am a very great fan of the adventure of Herlock Sholmes, and oh, you have a copy of the Rance magazine. Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! My stories are being read on the other side of the world.
My stories?
That's right, Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness! Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. So you are the author? Yes. I'll let you know a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure The Speckled Man.
The Speckled Man? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes, and of course I know that the snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you?
Dang, an inventor and the world-renowned author at just 10 years old. She's been busy in the last 10 years. She started when she was in the womb, chat.
So do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine all written by me? Yes, on my wonderful and very modern typewriter. But all the stories I ever read are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Sasato's getting more and more worked up.
Ah, yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine.
No, at 10 years old?
At 10 years old, and she's a doctor, Chad.
Well, that's quite incredible. She got a PhD at 10 years old? What have we been doing in the last years of my life?
But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow. I suppose it does, yes. Poor Sasato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart.
Never meet your heroes. Asian parent didn't go far enough, apparently. Is that why they're not around? Because they were disappointed with her chat. The Asian parent was like, you're a doctor, an author, but you're not a lawyer. Be gone.
About before.
Yes. What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me.
How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean?
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you do it. You did it. Explain every detail. Of course, I'd be delighted. Although, there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin. Iris Wilson is proud to present her logic and reasoning spectacular.
Oh my god. We got transported.
First of all, I already knew that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
But you also said we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and a travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh,
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country.
Who doesn't take the ticket out of their pocket? I mean, did he not change his clothes? They were here for overnight. They slept in a hotel. Did he not change his clothes? Logic and reasoning is a superpower in the Ace Attorney universe. You just know someone gonna edit that armband into a red and black. No!
And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
The Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I?
Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited a local prison to meet with a suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Ah. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilden, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see. But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow?
How could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been
Mr. Natsume.
Hey, what about that game? What game? What do you mean game? Hello, this is Ace Attorney, and we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which is I think it's the newest title for Ace Attorney games for the Switch.
Now Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught.
Damn man is shaking so much he could be James Bond personal drink server.
And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case. There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley's always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He's silly. And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
I've lost the Brit. I'm not doing the British accent anymore for Iris.
Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please?
Yeah, we've got information, chat. Okay, case of the Japanese man. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying.
Yes! Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah, the great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed in a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene.
A short, shifty-looking, stooped man.
Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt.
Soseki-san said he didn't see anybody else in the street at all, but it seems there were witnesses after all.
Hurley used his great deductive powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear.
Mr. Sholmes' great deductions certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently.
Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire.
That's why they can't afford to spend much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
That's terrible.
I suppose it's harsh reality of workings of the world's greatest justice system.
I suppose it is, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Oh, well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson.
Ah, goody! In that case... Give Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
Iris's postcard has been entered into court record. Wow, Iris is powerful, Chad. She just gives her card and Gregson is and a little bit of bribery, and Gregson is like, okay, I'll tell you everything. Even Gregson is afraid of a 10-year-old girl.
It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Gosh, it will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. We're bribing the inspector! Good luck, then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Man. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Corruption even back then. Corruption is forever.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
So somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris' curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. And this must be like worth a lot. If you know, maybe it was worth a lot. To be continued! This is where I end the stream, chat. It's the perfect place to end the stream. To be continued. Save my current progress. Yes, I shall. Okay. So we are going to be ending stream here. Thank you for joining me. We'll continue more Ace Attorney on Saturday. Hopefully. I think I can stream on Saturday. So yes, we'll be preparing some more Ace Attorney on Saturday. That shilling is probably worth way more today when it was first minted, if it's that heavy. It's probably worth a lot if you know, worth enough to bribe the detective. Nym ends with corruption. Let's go! No, it's over. Sorry, Walker. I hate to end it on a cliffhanger, but don't worry, we'll be back on Saturday for another stream of Ace Attorney, and then next week we'll see. I do want to keep Ace Attorney going, just because with story-based games like this, it's hard to kind of cut off in between. You kind of have to keep going at it so that we can kind of remember all the details properly, and I can solve the case and all that. If I take it too long of a break in between the case, I might forget everything. But I also can't take too much of a break with Resident Evil, because what if I forget surely I won't forget the controls, right? Surely we'll be fine. But yeah, let me just drink. Hold on, chat. I'll drink some. Hydrate. Don't forget to hydrate, everyone. Let me drink water. Yeah, I guess. Can you guys hear me swallow? You probably won't forget the controls, and don't call me Shirley. Surely, I won't forget the controls. Gulp. I'm a heavy gulper, chat. What can I say? I do be gulping really loudly. Okay, well, we'll end it here. Thank you for joining me. So far, interesting story. I'm excited that I understand now, like, this is where Ace Attorney combines both investigation gameplay and the courtroom gameplay. So it's gonna probably be a long case. It's gonna have like multiple parts, chat. And I think there's like there's 5 cases for Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So yeah, this is the second to the last case. It's a pretty long game. Quite long then compared to like the other Ace Attorney series. They only had four trials. This one has 5. So yeah, well yeah, it's really fun. Technically more as a result of it being bundled with Volume 2. Oh, is this 2? Is this 2? Volume 1? Is this 2 games combined into one? Like the Japanese title has this split up? I didn't know that. I thought this was just like one title. But yeah, I loved Ace Attorney. I played Ace Attorney back when it was still in the DS, the Nintendo DS, and I adored it. It was great. I just love story-based games, and I love like how weird and how crazy the characters are, and how weird it gets. Like the fact that, remember there was a part in Ace Attorney where you cross-examine a parrot, and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. This is the courtroom drama I subscribe to. Forget Law and Order. What we need is parrot witness. This is the courtroom drama we deserve. Now we're gonna continue next time. Hope you guys have like a good day today and a good day. I'm gonna sleep now because it's getting pretty late and I have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna head off and sleep. Take care, Nym. Fun stream as always. No, thank you guys. You guys take care too. I hope you have a fun. It's almost the weekend. You guys doing anything in the weekend? I don't know what I'm doing yet. But it's almost the weekend. So excited. Thank God it's Friday, right? Tomorrow. It's Friday right now because it's 12 a.m. Day of pleading and taxes. Sag. That is the saddest weekend I've ever heard. It's okay, Arik. You'll make it through. I'll be streaming on Saturday. It'll get you by. Good night. Have a good rest, y'all. Dental appointment. Oh, I should actually get my teeth cleaned pretty soon. I just realized. Thanks for reminding me. Schedule a dental appointment. I might get a haircut this weekend. Yeah, I'm planning to. Maybe I'll go to the salon, get a haircut, color my hair. It's been a while. I think it's been like almost a year since I last went to the salon. Not a year, but like almost a year. It's been pretty long. Stream, give me strength. and Ace Attorney is a comfy stream, so like you can just like lurk around, have it on in the background, and you can clean and do your taxes. I don't know how my stream will help you with taxes, but good luck with taxes. It is tax filing season, because it is the year just started and it's time to file your taxes, y'all. Don't forget about taxes. Pay your government to do stuff. just do stuff, just do it. The logic and reasoning, improve your computational power for taxes. Exactly. I just imagine Arik just doing his taxes and being like, objection. This computation is all wrong. I shouldn't pay this much. Okay, everyone. I'll see you all next stream. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Atsu Nym. Bye-bye. You guys have a good day, okay? You guys sleep tight. You have a good day. You do your taxes. Pay your government. Throws paperwork onto the floor. Hold it. Bye.
この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。